No. You had a different thought because you have more than 200 moons in our solar system. There was one point when I thought that there was only one moon in our solar system, but you know, eventually I learned that that wasn't true. Now, a moon is visible chiefly at night because it's now getting reflected light from the sun. Alright, so this reflected light from the sun, so when there's sun in Europe and it's night here, that reflected light, we are seeing it, and that's how we see the moon in the night. And it's vice versa when we are experiencing night and somewhere else is experiencing day. Alright, so that's our moon. Okay, let's talk about components of the solar system. Now, why is it called the solar system though? Like, why couldn't it be called the concrete system? Well, there are many planetary systems like ours in the universe. So did we think that we had only one planetary system? No. There are many more planetary systems. So we just know, or we're familiar with, the solar system because that's where we belong. But there are other planetary systems. And planetary systems orbit around a host star. And our star is known as the sun, while other planetary systems may have other major stars or host stars that they orbit around. Alright, so it says other planetary system. Our planetary system is named the solar system because our sun is named Sol, after the Latin word for sun, which is solis. So usually solis is associated with sun, daytime, daylight. And it says that anything related to the sun we call solar. So anything that's related to the sun, getting energy from the sun, it's called solar energy. So on and so forth is referred to as solar. Now, our planetary system is located in an outer spiral arm of the Milky Way. So as we said before, we are located in the Milky Way galaxy. The solar system is in the Milky Way galaxy. Our sun is called Sol, from the Latin word solis, and anything related to the sun is called solar. Okay. Now, our solar system consists of our star, which is the sun, and everything bound to it by gravity. And as I mentioned before, gravity is the basis of our existence because it keeps our planets and everything together. Now, the planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, and dwarf planets such as Pluto, and dozens of moons and millions of asteroids, comets, and meteoroids beyond our own solar system. Okay, I'm going a bit too fast. You know what's going on? Listen, all that we just named before are things bound by gravity in our solar system. Now, beyond our own solar system, there have been thousands of planetary systems orbiting other stars in the Milky Way discovered. So we are not the only planetary system in the Milky Way. We are one of many other planetary systems in the Milky Way, and then there are many other galaxies in the universe than the Milky Way. So can you imagine how many planetary systems there are? Like, is there a Earth point 2? Is there an Earth version 2? Do all of these planetary systems have an Earth? So much to think about. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, I don't know. Maybe there is a version of me living somewhere else in a different planetary system. There's so much to think about, guys, like, honestly. But let's not dwell. Alright, so I have an activity for you that you can do just to get an idea of distance. So the activity is with one step representing 1 meter in groups of 9, each person representing a celestial feature. Do the following in an open area. So find an open area in a group of 9, and 1 step represents 1 meter. So that's our scale. So we're going to have one person representing the sun, and the sun, who is representing the sun, is going to stand at the edge of the area. Then we have a person representing Mercury, which is going to be 1 step from the sun. Venus is going to be 2 steps from the sun, so it should be 1 step from Mercury. Earth is going to be 2.5 steps from the sun, which will be 0.5 steps from the Venus. You know, if you want to make it a bit easier. Mars is going to be 4 steps from the sun. Jupiter, 13 steps from the sun. Saturn, 24 steps from the sun. Uranus, 49 steps from the sun. And Neptune is going to be 76 steps from the sun. So it has to be a large open area. Alright, and you are going to tell me in the comments what you will notice about planetary distancing. Sorry, not distancing, but distances. So describe what you notice about planetary distances. Like, are some planets closer? As you upgrade, do they get wider? Are they wider at the beginning and get closer to the end? Is there a gap between one planet and a gap between another? Like, just tell me what you notice. And this is how, basically, how the solar system is set up. Alright? Now let's do a review of the size of the planets in order. So these are the actual information on the sizes of planets. So Mercury is 2,440 kilometers for the radius, and you know radius is just half of the diameter, so if you times that by 2 you'll get the actual size of Mercury. So these are the distances for the radius, and you know radius and times it by 2 to get the whole diameter. And it gives you something to think about. So Mercury is about 1/3 the size of Earth. And then you have Venus, which is only slightly smaller than Earth. So you have Mercury being 1/3 the size of Earth. Venus slightly smaller than Earth. Then you have Earth, which is 6,371 kilometers in radius. So we have, you know, something kind of a measure to think about. Like, okay, so if Venus is this size, that means it's just a little bit smaller than Earth, right? Then you have Mars, which is about half the size of Earth. So, you know, Mars is smaller than Earth. Then you have Jupiter. We're done dividing now, and we're now multiplying. It's now 11 times the size of Earth. So can you imagine how big Jupiter is? It's 11 times the size of Earth, and Earth is so big, so massive. So can you imagine the size of Jupiter? Then you have Saturn, which is 9 times the size of Earth, and that is still a lot. It's still big. And even Uranus being 4 times Earth size is still a lot because Earth is so big. So being 2 times the size of Earth, 3 times the size of Earth, imagine 4. That's still a lot. Okay, and Neptune is only slightly smaller than Uranus. So you could say still 4 times the size of Earth or 3.5 times the size of Earth. So that just gives you an idea of the sizes of the planets, and we can see from this our largest planet is Jupiter, being 11 times the size of Earth, and our smallest planet is Mercury, because Mercury is about 1/3 the size of Earth, and followed by Mercury you have Mars, and then Venus, and then Earth, then Neptune, then Uranus, then Saturn, and Jupiter. Alright, so we can remember that the largest planet is the smallest planet. And this is just upon we see the distances. So we see the different planets, Mercury, Mars, Earth. Well, the 8 planets can be divided into 2 distinct categories on the basis of their densities, which is mass per unit volume. Densities, we can say weight, right? So we have 4 inner or terrestrial planets, which are known as Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. They have rocky compositions and densities greater than 3 grams per cubic centimeter, and they allow you to think about that and kind of have something to relate to, because it says water has a density of 1 gram per cubic meter. So think about it. But it's good to know that the 4 inner or terrestrial planets, they have rocky compositions. As you see, we live on Earth, it's very, you know, rocky. That's something that we see with our 2 eyes, so we understand what it means. Now, in contrast, we have 4 outer planets, and these are called Jovian or giant planets, which is Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. And they are large objects with densities less than 2 grams per cubic meter. They are composed primarily of hydrogen and helium, which is Jupiter and Saturn, or of ice, rock, hydrogen and helium, which is Uranus and Neptune. So they are not rocky like our inner planets, but they're more icy. Them consist of hydrogen and helium, and so on. And they kind of split it up so you get a better understanding. So Jupiter and Saturn is hydrogen and helium, while Uranus and Neptune is ice, rock, hydrogen and helium. Okay, so now the relatively smaller inner planets have solid surfaces. They lack ring systems, so they don't have rings surrounding them. And they have few or no moons. So we know that Earth has one moon. So if they have a few, moons, I guess some planets, or maybe a planet in the inner planets or terrestrial planets, have no moons. I'm not sure of which planet that is. If you know which planet doesn't have a moon, comment below and let me know. The atmosphere of Venus, Earth, and Mars are composed of significant percentage of oxidized compounds such as carbon dioxide. So we know we have a lot of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere along with other gases, and they're saying Venus, Earth, and Mars has a significant percentage of carbon dioxide, which we use. So it's good to an extent, but significant, too much amount. That's a whole different topic. That's global warming and all that. So let's not dive into that right now. Alright, so we don't have ring systems. We have solid surfaces, few or no moons. We have oxidized compounds such as carbon dioxide. Now, the 4 giant outer planets are much more massive than the terrestrial planets. So they have immense atmospheres, which are composed mainly of, what are the 2 H's? Hydrogen and helium, which we mentioned before. They have no solid surfaces. However, their densities are so low that one of them, which is Saturn, could actually float in water. Can you imagine a planet that's floating in water? Like, come on now. Each of the outer planets have a magnetic field, which is a ring system, and they have many known moons which are more likely to be discovered. They have many known moons, with more likely to be discovered. So they have a lot that we know, and there's so much to be discovered. So that's what it's saying. So they have no solid surfaces compared to the inner planets. They have low densities, and even Saturn is so low that it can even float in water. They have a ring system, which is a magnetic field, and they have many moons, and there's so much more that can be discovered. Alright, so that was a interesting video. That was a lot. It leaves us with a lot of questions. Well, it definitely left me with a lot of questions, but I think those questions can be answered, especially if you go ahead and decide that you want to study astrology or astronomy, and you get a better idea of what it is. Alright, but we have reached the end of our video. Thank you guys for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like these to help you, with your schoolwork. Our quote of the day is, education is the key to success. And that's a very common quote, and we know what it means. If you want to be successful, education is the way to go. It is definitely the key. Once again, guys, please remember to share this video and subscribe to my channel. And it's been a pleasure. Thank you guys so much for watching again, and I will see you in the next